All right, everybody. I hope that everybody is doing just fantastic today. I hope everybody is just having a great day today. I'm your host, English social tutor from NICALINGUE, and my name is Nestor. Today is Saturday, November 7th, 2020, and yes, that's right, it's another great day for us to improve and develop our speaking skills. If this is your first time watching and listening to Radio NICALINGUE podcast, let me explain you actually how it works. I'll be introducing to you a topic along with some useful expressions that can be used later in today's talk. Once that we have covered the topic, you will have the opportunity to practice your speaking, or actually to practice your ideas, to express your ideas to the topics or to the questions that we're going to be discussing today in this episode. That's right, today is episode number 4, and what we're going to be covering today, it will be about food, right? We're going to be talking about food for better night's sleep, especially for those kind of people who suffer from insomnia and they cannot conceal sleep easily, like myself. So we're gonna be talking about this, the food that will help us to have a better night's sleeps, right? So additionally to that, we'll be introducing to you some kind of useful expressions that you can actually be using later for a better speaking, right? And last but not least, the main question of today's event is the following: what are your favorite foods or dishes when you were a kid? The main idea is that you can share, you can remember, and you can actually explain, right, your answer. And we are about to start right now. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. So thank you very much for watching and listening to Radio NICALINGUE podcast. Today's topic is brought to you thanks to the sponsorship of our main program, which is iSpeak, right? So the main idea with iSpeak is that you can have private English lessons where we focus on how to develop your speaking strategy by 12 different strategies that will help you out to speak better English. And additionally to that, we focus on your vocabulary, pronunciation, fluency, coherence, and grammar range, right? Our main vision is that you also have the opportunity to find, better opportunities. We're talking about jobs, scholarships, or the opportunity to live abroad by just speaking English, right? Quite honest with you, we have more than 120 lessons. We have more than 120 topics that we can share in our private lessons, and you will have the opportunity to talk about those topics. So you will have the opportunity also to improve your speaking skill, obviously. So. Alrighty, so with that being said, right, without any further ado, let me go ahead and introduce to you Isaac, right? Isaac, I think that is about to call in. So let's see. Hello, Isaac, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you doing, Isaac,
Fine.
today?
Everything is just fine, thanks to God. And what about you, Nestor?
I'm just doing fantastic after a rainy week, after a difficult
Yes,
time that we have been through. When I'm talking about the Hurricane Eta that Nicaragua was
yes,
facing during this week, and our, Central American countries are also being affected by this tropical storm. But the good thing about this is that we don't have any more hurricanes, right? And finally, we have the sun, right? We have the sun.
We have a
We have
sunshine.
some
Yes.
sunshine. That's right. Very good. Alrighty. So in today's lesson or in today's episode, we are going to talk about foods for better sleep. Right. That's gonna be today's topic, and we'll start with our reading article. Right. We're gonna start with our
Yes.
reading article. So Isaac, I would appreciate that you can start reading the first part of the article.
Sure. Um, food, foods, excuse me, food for better night sleep. It is well known that not getting enough sleep can increase your risk of developing serious health problems such as heart disease, diabetes, and even obesity.
Alrighty. And also, the article says that, but improving the quality of your sleep might be as easy as changing your diet. Uh huh. Okay, so from what I understand so far, is that if I change my diet, is going to help me out to improve my quality of sleeping time, right? Which sounds really interesting. Let's go ahead and see what are those kind of food that we actually need in order for us to improve our you know our night sleep time. So
Yes.
the article also says that a certain food has been found to contain chemicals that help us sleep. So if you have trouble sleeping at night, don't forget to put this item on your grocery list. Okay, so we're starting with the first item. So Isa, can you please tell me which one that would be?
Yes. Nestor, I think, or I guess that before they made this, they made this article, they made a statistic and a studies to know what items are you going to add to your grocery list. One of the items is banana. Bananas are rich in magnesium and potassium, both of which help our muscles relax. They are also a good source of vitamin B6, sometimes called an anti-stress vitamin, which might be as what you need right before head away.
All right. So basically, banana is one of the foods that actually we need to include in
Yes,
our grocery list because will help us to have better night sleep, which is quite interesting.
yes,
Perhaps
quite
right now,
interesting.
perhaps right now there are gonna be some nutritionists that will consider the banana is not a really good idea because it has sugar, right?
Yes,
And as a sugar, it's as a sugary food, it's a kind of it contains a lot of energy that actually will boost your energy, and perhaps you cannot have a really good night's sleep. But the article says that they are rich in magnesium and potassium, and also have vitamin 6. And according to this, vitamin 6 contains the anti-stress vitamin. So I think that if you need, instead of, for example, those people who are actually nutritionists, perhaps they can jump in and maybe they can let us know what they actually think about this statement because it's quite interesting. Just take a look
yes,
that normally when I was in college or primary, high school, my teacher used to tell me that is fruits should be eaten in the morning, right? That's the main thing. But right now we're talking about better night sleeps, meaning that if you eat fruits in the morning, are you actually gonna have the opportunity to sleep good at night? I don't know, right? So I do have my doubts about that. I still have my questions, right? But
For example,
so
in my case, I cannot to eat before of sleeping because I don't sleep. I don't know why, but that happened to me.
so you can't sleep. You can't sleep at night if you go to bed. I mean, if you eat and then if you go to bed, you can sleep.
Yes, I need to
Okay.
wait like 15 minutes or 20 minutes before of going to sleep.
And you know what? Even though you need to wait between 15 or 20 minutes, I will have to say that it's a short period of time because normally it's considered that you can have the opportunity to make your own digestion according to your system.
Yes,
You need to wait at least 2 hours. So
2 hours.
some
Yes,
nutritionists will tell you that you cannot eat anything after 8 p.m. And being honest with you, I do the opposite, right? 100%. Yesterday, I have my
me
meal
too.
around 9 p.m., right? And then I went to bed at
Yes,
10. So that is not a really good pattern of a good life. That's considered a sedentary life at the end, right? Okay, so, but we still have more foods, right? We still have more foods. Let me go ahead and double check over here. We got the bananas. And now we also have the oatmeal, right? That's quite interesting.
yes.
Oatmeal. The more
Oatmeal.
popular, the more popular as a breakfast food around the world, having a small bowl of oatmeal before bed can make you sleepy. This is because oat contains melatonin, a hormone that relaxes your body and helps you fall asleep faster. Quite interesting, right? Quite interesting. Um, you know, when there isn't something to eat at home, I would have to say that I give myself the opportunity to the oatmeal. But I don't feel that is actually a good food. I understand that the article says that will help you out to with the melatonin, which is the hormone that help you out to decrease your level of energy, and so you have the opportunity to sleep better. But I haven't tried that one yet. I have heard people saying that it's really good. But perhaps next time I do face myself in that situation, I will give myself the opportunity to give it a try to the oatmeal. Right? That's for sure. Alrighty, Isaac. So we move on. We move it on with the next on the list
Yes.
is
The other is turkey. This is very interesting. The turkey, because the turkey is is as delicious as it is healthy, but more importantly, it contains tryptophan, a chemical that acts as a sedative. Protein which turkey is packed with has also been found to improve sleep quality. I think that if you eat as much as you cannot sleep in in 2 hours. But if only you eat like one piece of turkey, maybe this can help you. This can help you to sleep. But but it doesn't less to be interesting because it's very interesting.
so you're saying that perhaps having some turkey at the end could help you out to have some good night's sleep, right?
Yes.
Well, this is another. I don't know if it's at the end if it's going to be a myth, but we're talking about proteins, right? Proteins. So protein is, according to this, help you to relax your muscles. I think it is, right? And okay, so I never thought about turkey being a good option for you to have better night sleeps. All right, but something that actually I have give myself the opportunity is milk. Being honest, and
Oh,
the
really?
article says that a glass of milk is perhaps the best known natural remedy for many sleep problems. But this might not have anything to do with the chemicals it contains. Rather, Drinking a cup of warm milk before bedtime may bring back memories of childhood, which can help us relax and drift off to sleep more easily. So it has nothing to do with the fact that the milk itself contains some kind of chemicals that will help you out to sleep, but the fact or that is associated that it remember or remind us our childhood, and that's the reason why we can have better night sleep, which is really cool, right? Especially when, in my case, my mother used to tell me, especially if I have the if I couldn't sleep, she used to tell me, do you want something like soft so they can make you feel a little bit warm and also soften your stomach? And then I say yes, and then she used to bring me some kind of milk, right? Milk, and it made me feel relaxed, which is great. Actually, really good. Alrighty, so okay, so now, guys, I think we have reached the end of today's reading article, right? What we're gonna be doing, guys, is that I'm gonna be introducing to you some of the expressions, right? Expressions that they are gonna help you out to improve your speaking, right? So one of the expressions that I want you to keep in mind is, I think there are more benefits than drawbacks. So drawbacks, in this case, you can use it as not having benefits. Take a look at the sentence or the expression itself. I think there are more benefits than drawbacks. Drawbacks, in this case, it's considered like not having good benefits, right? Another expression that you can use in today's talk is on the other hand, especially when you are stating something, but, right, you can also use on the other hand to express a different opinion or a different idea. The following expression is, that's nothing compared to. When you're talking about something unique, something that actually it's only and its essence, so it's considered that you cannot compare that particular thing with another thing. Another expression that you can use in today's talk is, some are positive and some are negative. And the last but not least, this is good, but it also has some drawbacks. Excuse me, so we have some are positive and some are negative. So whenever we are doing some kind of comparisons between two things at the same time, and perhaps our conception about one thing are just much better, or we have a positive mindset regarding to that, or negative, right, to the other ones. So the first question of today is the following. Isaac, are you ready for today's question? Alrighty. So the first question of today is brought to you our iSpeak program, right? And the first question says, what are the advantages and disadvantages of having fast food restaurants in your local area?
In my area, we have a fast food restaurant that is near. Uh, that is near. Um, the advantage of this restaurant is that you don't need to go until another area to buy food, because you have this restaurant here. But also has a drawbacks, that a lot, I don't know, people come to my area, to my local area, and this is a risk. This is a risk because you don't know to those people.
So what are you trying to say? What are the advantages then? What are the advantages of having a local food in your place or in your area next to where you live?
Okay, the disadvantage, or what I
Mm-hmm.
am trying to say,
What are you
is
trying to
that
say? Yeah.
um, is that for example, um, come a lot of unknown people.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if that people come to eat to that restaurant, or if they want to rob, if they
Mm-hmm.
want to rob you. So
Mm-hmm.
that is one of the disadvantage, because a lot of people stay in that place.
Okay. All right. I think I got your point. You're talking about the fact that there are a lot of people around that place, and perhaps they are going to take advantage from you by,
Yes.
robbing from you. Okay, I got you. You know, one of the advantages I actually find when it comes to having local restaurant near your area is that the principal one is that if you don't want to have, or if you don't want to cook, right? If you don't want to cook, then you will have
Yes.
the opportunity to tell your family, you know what, let's go to our restaurant, to the closest restaurant, and let's have some meal right over there. So let's try something different. And by doing this, I think it's very um, it's very comfortable at my end, because I just going to take my family to this place, and they can order the food that they want, and I don't need to cook, right? That's one of the main advantages. And if we talk about the benefits of this, but if we talk about the drawbacks, we have to say that sometimes the hygiene in these places is not really good enough for you to be sure that you're not gonna get sick. For example, if yesterday I took my family to a local restaurant where we ordered some chicken, and turns out that one of my family members got sick. So that's the thing. That's one of the drawbacks. That's the main disadvantage. That sometimes, depending on how your system, your immune system is actually working on, because if you actually have problems with if you don't have a strong immune system, you're gonna get sick if you go to one of these places.
Uh,
Alrighty, now.
Teacher, another disadvantage is that, yes, that you can catch a flu or a stomach problem, because I remember that in one occasion I went to buy a hamburger.
Mm-hmm.
Um, after of I eat this hamburger, of I ate this hamburger, uh, I have a serious problem with my stomach. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
that is one
Even
of the
though even
disadvantages.
though these good places, like where you can have some kind of decent hamburger, you can
Yes.
even get sick. Yeah, that's a fact. Alrighty. So the following question we have is: do you think people in your country generally make healthy food choices?
Um, I guess yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because if you don't want to buy a hamburger, you don't eat that, and you can buy a salad, but and you need to buy a salad, and this is very positive. This is very positive because you are you are you are trying to be a healthy person. You know what is happening nowadays, that there are a lot of people here in Nicaragua that they have problem with the obesity. Um, I think that the people nowadays is they are taking care in that part.
Um, Quite honestly, I don't think that we Nicaraguan have a really good choices when it comes to having good meals or square meals or balanced diet, because I truly believe that we don't have the proper education on pick on the proper foods, the one that we actually need. We have been in a system that we eat what we have, right? I'm not
Yes,
talking about
yes, it's totally right.
I'm not talking about that every Nicaraguan. Perhaps there are some Nicaraguans that they actually take, or they do really take care about the things that they actually have in their dishes. They perhaps they are foodie people, right? But
Yes.
the most of, including myself, the most of Nicaraguans, we don't have the proper education on when it comes to having the right amount of carbohydrates, the right amount of proteins, or the right amount of fat, because we have been used to, right, to eat anything, and our
Yes.
conception is to be really full of really full of food until we we feel satisfied, right? But we don't pay attention to this amount of things. So I don't really think that we have a really good healthy choices when it comes to having food, right? Alrighty, so
Teacher,
the next,
and
yeah.
I think here in Nicaragua, the name of the places that you can go to eat is are the fritangas. Here
Yeah.
here sells food, and this is not healthy food. This is one of the most common place that you visit when you go to eat something.
We need to, okay, but if we talk about the fritanga ones, I would have to say that, you know, if you go to fritanga, there are gonna be some kind of food that are actually not fried, or they didn't go through a process of a lot of fatty things, but they are grilled, and grilled things are good. The bad thing is that you have the amount of proteins, the amount of carbohydrates, and the amount of fat that is not the real, or the amount that we actually need. Just for me to give you a better
Yes,
example, our body only needs at around 2,000 calories per day. But Nicaraguans' average ingest of food in calories, when talking about calories, it's about 3,000 or 35,000 calories. So the difference or the gap, it's between 1,000 or 1,500 calories. So it's a lot. It's a lot. And besides that, we always start, or we keep on eating snacks or drinking Coke and having salty products and having sugary products. So in the end, it's really bad, right? And the main reason I think we do this is because we have the conception that cooking our or preparing our own meals is taking a lot of time, and we don't want to take that time or that effort for us to actually prepare our food, right? This is what I think when it comes to that. Alrighty, so then we have our next question, question number 3. Article, then we got the question. Question number 3 says, um, how people's attitudes towards foreign foods change over the past few decades in your country. Isaac, are you still there?
okay. Um, I have seen that in the few years, in my country, the attitudes have been changed a lot because uh, before we didn't have uh, Asian food like China food. Nowadays we have a lot of restaurant of China food, uh, around around Nicaragua. And also we have food of other culture. That this is positive because you know how is the food of other country and about the culture. For example, the way that we prepare or that we cook a fish is not the same that they prepare the fish. Maybe I think uh, it's more healthy the fish that they cook. But this is my opinion. But also has a throwback because you don't know how is prepared this food and could be very dangerous for your health. You could be have a problem in your stomach or you can get to vomit.
Alrighty. I would have to say, when it comes to this question, here in Nicaragua, we have a lot of restaurants that offer processed food like pizza, hamburgers, and there are different options where you can go and actually have a meal over there. The truth is that when we see this kind of food in our area, people get crazy, right? People actually make long queues for them to have this kind of food, especially when I'm talking about hamburgers or pizza, right? Because it's the easiest thing for you to have at your dining table, right? So our attitude to foreign food has changed to the fact that we are being consuming more, this kind of this type of food. So, and turns out that our self food, right, like nacatamal, indio viejo, is something that is not easy to cook either, right? Caballo bayo, it's not really easy to cook, so it takes time. So our the idea of just making a queue, right, or making the line in a restaurant for you to order some hamburger or pizza, it's easier than rather than going to a supermarket or the market, grab your shopping list and start thinking about the ingredients you need to have for you to start making your own food. Before we go any further, we have Sharu. Sharu entering our live studio today. Sharu, are you there? If you are there, we would like to hear from you. What's, for example, right now we're talking about what is or how people's attitude has changed, right? Towards foreign food in the past decade. So if you would like to join us, right, in today's free talk, you are more than. Let me see. Hold on. Just 1 second. All right, you are just more than welcome to do so. All right. So, Isa, you still there? I think you got disconnected. Alrighty. Anyway, so we're still talking. Okay, you're there? That sounds great. So we're
I'm
still
here.
talking. Okay, that's great. That's great. So we're still talking about the how people, right, or how people have changed, right, towards food, so especially foreign food. So I think that
Yes.
we have changed our own food. For example, I used to see in every, not in every house, but one or another house in just one block around my area, that they used to say, like a small ad saying, we sell nacatamales and on Saturdays and on Sundays, or from
And
Friday, right?
Sunday.
There are some houses that do that, right? Because it's a way of living, which is totally fine.
Yes.
But I also have seen that they have changed this, that instead of selling nakatamale on Saturdays or during the weekend, now they sell pizza, for example. And this is yeah, and they have
Yes,
like
yes,
a small
it's true.
they have like a small showroom. And this is showroom, they have different kind of pizza. They have pepperoni, pineapple, they have cheese pizza. So it has changed. I would have to say it has changed. Alrighty, cool. So we have
Sure.
another.
Or they prepare hamburgers with they prepare hamburgers with soda, and yes, has changed a lot. This
I
has
live
changed a lot.
in what is this place? Wembes. And just in Wembes, you can see a lot of small places offering you fast food, hot dogs, hamburgers, fried chicken. Why? Because it's the easiest way to make a living of that, and it's the easiest ways to have something to eat, right? That's the thing. Alrighty, so our next question of today is the following, right? The following question is this one. So, Isaac, if you could only eat one cuisine for the rest of your life, what would you choose and why?
Mm, mm, if I have the opportunity to eat only one cuisine for the rest of my life, I will say that um, the gallo pinto that my mom cook.
Okay. Why is that?
Because this gallo pinto is one of the most special food that my mom makes for me. Um, I wouldn't live with that reality. That is one of the most, or that is the most beautiful food or that I could eat. And also I like the pizza, but I will say that my mom gallo
All
pinto of
right.
my mom is better than the pizza.
Are you sure about that? Just wondering, just wondering.
Yes, in my opinion, yes.
Um, well, on my end, I would have to say that I haven't tried all different kind of food. I have tried Indian, Chinese,
Oh, really? How is the
Japanese.
Indian food? How is the Indian food?
It's very spicy, and in fact, I like it. I like it a lot. But if you are the kind of person that cannot stand spicy food, for a fact, I wouldn't recommend that to you. We have another. We have a Po Wo. I think perhaps, hopefully, I'm just pronouncing your name correctly. Welcome, welcome. Thank you very much for tuning in. And the microphones are just open. Today's In today's episode, we're talking about food, right? We're talking about the foods that can make you sleep better. We have discussed already that there are some fruits, right? I don't know if you guys have any idea that eating fruit at night perhaps will help you out to improve your sleep time quality, right? According to an article that we recently read, it does because it has some kind of, for example, bananas have the vitamin B6, and the vitamin B6 help you with the anti-stress hormone. It have the anti-stress hormone that will help you to feel relaxed before you hit the hay, right? So that's quite interesting. But it's a fruit, and from what I understand, fruits you cannot eat them at night, otherwise because it has sugar, right, on it. So otherwise you can have problem at the moment of eating, moment of sleeping, right? So we got Covey Jr. Covey Jr., welcome. Thank you very much for just jumping in today's episode in our free talk, right? Foods for better night's sleep. And currently, today's our question, right? The question that we are or giving our answers about is: if you could only eat one cuisine for the rest of your life, what would you choose and why? Previously, I was trying to express that I have tried Indian, Chinese, Japanese, obviously our Nicaraguan food. I have tried different kind of food, and I would have to say that I haven't found just the kind of food that I would say to